9/11, for many, it's etched in our minds forever. But for White House photographer Eric Draper, it was much more than a snapshot in time.
The plane
has crashed into the World Trade Center.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God.
There's a second plane hitting the World Trade Center.
It was the defining moment of his presidency, definitely. That day, the days that followed, the entire rest of his presidency was all about 9/11. And every year, we remember.
What word? Smile. Yes, smile. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Smile.
It was cramped, full of kids, full of press. And I'm walking around and I see it happen out of the corner of my eye. And after seeing the president's expression completely change, I realized that something had just happened. The entire time I'm thinking of just, I was in kind of autopilot, pure adrenaline, trying to not overprocess what was happening because I knew that every picture would be important. Every emotion, every expression, every person in the room had a story, had something to do with the president's reaction. And there was a very dramatic moment when Dan Bartlett, there's a picture of him pointing to the television because we hadn't seen the pictures of the second tower getting hit and that fireball that's burned into everyone's memory. And that's when the president turned to see that image for the very first time. So I thought that was a very important moment. That entire week was like, one long day. I don't think I remember sleeping that entire week. We did travel to Ground Zero, and that following Thursday, I believe it was, and that's another day that I'll never forget. A roller coaster of emotions that day. Seeing the mountains and mountains of rubble still burning, seeing it firsthand, feeling the heat from the fire that was still smoldering was very, very dramatic, very overwhelming. But also the emotions from the firefighters were even just top that. It felt like we were standing on a raw nerve when the president waded through the firefighters to greet them, to thank them, to hug them, to cry with them. They really wanted to interact with him. They really wanted him to do something. You can kind of feel the moment building to that famous bullhorn moment when the president stood on top of the rubble with the retired firefighter and spoke, the famous line.
And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
All the firefighters erupted in USA, and it was historic. The hair on my neck stood up.
Such powerful pictures, and it takes you right back.
Yeah, it does. That bullhorn moment when the country had hope again.
It's just amazing. And take a look at this. This is Draper's favorite photo from his time as White House photographer. He says every time he sees it, he sees a sense of innocence because he took it at the Bush Ranch a month before 9/11.
Oh, wow.
And then the world changed.
Yeah.